Beshus Rosh HaKollel Rabbonim Moira Rabboisai. It gives me great pleasure to convey a short bracha to the Choshve Koil Zichron Shaul, the Rosh HaKollel Harav Moshe Bunim Shlita, and its Chaveira HaKollel. It fills me with tremendous pride and deep feelings of Hakaras HaTov to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that our son Harav Moshe Bunim was zoche to establish this important moisad 15 years ago, and that he has been able to lead and guide the kollel successfully through all these years, together with his esteemed Shutav, Harav Shechter Shlita. I have visited the kollel many times in the past, and I also delivered several shiurim. The hasmoda, the bren with which the young elite learn the spirit of achdus and pilpul chaverim are palpable as soon as one enters the Beis HaMedrash. May Hashem grant that the kollel, with its Rosh HaKollel at the helm, should go mechail el chayil for many years to come. May it be matzliach, beruchnes and begashmias. May this kollel, together with all both the knesias and both the midrashos, be zoche soon to be transplanted to Eretz Yisrael. As our Chazal predict in Masechtas Megillah, Asidim, both the knesias and both the midrashos, shebechutz la'aretz, shikavu be'Eretz Yisrael, v'mheir v'yameina omen, omen kein yehi.
As we gather here tonight and look back over the last 15 years since Kollel Zichron Shaul was founded, we feel a tremendous debt of gratitude to the Ribbono Shel Olam for his siyata d'shmaya in enabling this dream to come to fruition. In the past decade and a half, the kollel has become one of the central institutions of Gateshead and has gained international fame as a foremost Makom Torah.
Is saying no. Now when the Gemara says here, just like Rashi, remember by us said, when the Gemara said with their man Ishmael and Rabbanon, Rashi said we couldn't.
Its alumni occupy positions in communities and institutions around the world, as Rabbonim, Mechanchim, and in the field of Kiruv Rechokim.
Sooner or later, when those two get into trouble, they can destroy a whole country like Shem.
In the mid-1990s, as the Gateshead Kehillah grew and greater numbers of young Bnei Torah were settling in the town, a group of Avrechim came together with the desire to further strengthen themselves in Limud HaTorah in their post-yeshiva years. Learning together in Gateshead Yeshiva Gedolah, they soon realized that it was essential for them to open their own self-contained moisad with its own independent structure. Two of these young men, Reb Daniel Rubin and Reb Binyamin Plotzke, took upon themselves the daunting task of creating a new kollel to cater for this vibrant, albeit small chabura of committed young men. One evening, Rabbi Rubin happened to meet a certain member of the Gateshead Kehillah, to whom he mentioned the predicament, Avrechim with a desire to learn, but neither premises nor funds. The response was as if it had come directly from Shamayim. Our family are actually looking for such a project to finance, and this sounds like the perfect thing. This man was Mr. Maxi Steenberg, who, together with family Cohen of London, wished to perpetuate the memory of their dear relative Rabbi Shaul Cohen, Zatzal, a Talmid Chacham of note, and a Marbitz Torah in Gateshead Yeshiva and Seminary, who had tragically left this world 7 years earlier at the young age of 39. So, with divine orchestration, the kollel was beginning to take form.
Good evening, and thank you for your support of Kollel Zichron Shaul. I was most pleased when approximately 16 years ago I was asked by Reb Danny Rubin and Reb Binyamin Plotzke to help plan the establishment of a new kollel here in Gateshead. On an interesting historical note, this dining table, which belonged to my parents, at which I now sit, and around which we had the original meetings to establish the kollel, is the very same table where my father sat with the Askonim of the town when they made plans to start Gateshead Yeshiva Gedolah. I feel especially close to Kollel Zichron Shaul, and it's named after Reb Shaul Cohen, Olav Hasholem, who spent his entire life in Torah. I have enjoyed shepping much nachas from the accomplishments of the Kollel members. I look forward to being able, in Yitz Hashem, to continue to encourage and receive benefit as the Kollel grows from strength to strength. I urge you to help the Kollel in their holy endeavours as much as you are able, because after all is said and done, I remember what Mrs. Cohen, Oleh Sholem, Reb Shaul's mother, always used to say, Torah is the best of schayra.
A Rosh Kollel was needed, who could take charge of the Kollel's needs, both spiritual and material. The Avreichim approached Rabbi Moshe Kraus, a prominent member of the Gateshead Kollel, who accepted the post. In April 96, with exactly a minyan of younger light, and with the encouragement and blessing of the Gateshead Rav Zatzal, Rav Betzalel Rakov, the Kollel began the summer's man in their premises at Coatsworth Road. The building had been donated in memory of Reb Shaul Zatzal, but a refurbishing project was urgently required to enlarge the Beis HaMedrash and to maximise the use of the building. With its completion 9 months later, a grand Chanukas Habayis was held, attended by many Rabbonim and dignitaries of the Gateshead Kehillah. The Rav, Rav Rakov, was among those who addressed the gathering. In fact, as an indication of the high esteem in which he held the Kollel, the late Rav Rakov would always make a special point of attending every Siyum Masechta they held, and to encourage their activities. As the Kollel grew, an opening developed for a Rosh Chabura, who would act as a further driving force behind the learning. And so, 2 years after its inception, Rabbi Avraham Yaakov Shechter of the Sunderland Kollel, a highly distinguished Talmud Chacham and a Magachir of Daf Yomi, joined in the leadership of the Kollel. After completing Maseches Brachos and the majority of Seder Moed in the winter of 03, the Kollel embarked on a Samicha program, beginning with Maseches Chulin and followed by the whole of the first section of Shulchan Aruch Yeridea. With exceptional enthusiasm, the Avreichim undertook regular examinations and finished in the spring of 08 by travelling to London to be tested for smicha by Rav Ephraim Padua, Rav of the Union of Orthodox Kehillas. As a continuation of the halacha program, a large section of Yeridea Chelik Beis was then undertaken. Throughout the limud, regular shiurim on the subject matter were delivered in the Kollel by the recently arrived new Mora de Asra, Rabbi Shrager Feivel Zimmerman, who later tested them and found them proficient in their knowledge. The Kollel have since then been learning Maseches Avodah Zarah Be'iyun, with a view to studying the related halachas of Ma'acholos Asuras in Shulchan Aruch. The 18 Avreichim who make up the present membership are dedicated to Torah and to growing in their Avodas Hashem, and will be joined by a new intake next Zaman. The Kollel Beis HaMedrash has become a focal point for Torah in the community. Besides the Kollel's own Avreichim, men and boys from the wider Kehillah are attracted by its warm atmosphere to spend part of their day learning there, and it is open all day, all year round for public use. Over the years, the Kollel has hosted many extracurricular learning activities and shiurim, allowing its premises to be used by other moistas outside the hours of Seder. For the past 13 years, the early morning Kollel Lev Ephraim has made use of the Beis HaMedrash for their daily pre-Shachris learning session, and indeed, Kollel Zichron Shaul feels it is a zechus and a privilege to be able to assist other organizations too. It is also a focal point for Tefillah, with a succession of minyanim for Mariv every day until late at night. In 2006, to mark the 10th anniversary of the Kollel, a Sefer Torah was kindly donated to Zichron Shaul by family Mendel Kaufman of Gateshead for use by the Kollel's own minyan. The Kollel continues its vital role to serve as a nurturing ground for the development of Bnei Torah into Talmidei Chachamim and Marbitzei Torah, through regular shiurim and Mussar discourses given by members in rotation. It is only with the help of its loyal supporters that Kollel Zichron Shaul is able to prosper. We wish all our generous friends continued good health and nachas and success in all their endeavours, and it is our tefillah that together we should see the Kollel continue to flourish for many years to come.